All right, number 6, concession action items. A, consideration to approve the minutes of the board meetings held on January 16, 2023, public hearing.
No, we have to go back to where we left off.
We have to go back.
January 16th, regular meeting, January 21st, training, and January 23rd, special.
I
Have to vote.
I have a question on,
Go ahead.
I can find it now. I think it was on the last meeting, it's on page 18. When we table something, I mean, when does it comes back to us? Or put it back? On item number 11 on page 18. No, was that it? It pertained to the elementary administrators that we table. Where it is, let's see. I have it over here.
January.
On the, I think it was the 23rd. I think it's on page 26.
Oh, we're already on the
Yeah, minutes.
23rd.
It's on 7A, on page 24. 7A. We were discussing about stipends for one of the elementary administrators. And then we motioned to table it because I think the wording was not done right correctly. And you said we'll bring it in the February meeting.
So I discussed that with the very specific employee, and the employee did not want to come back to the table.
Well, that's fine, man. Let me see what else.
So as far as approving the minutes, we're gonna have to go one by one, because I was in one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's.
What was that again? I was getting ready to make a motion to approve all the minutes as presented together with the bills, but there's one that you want to exclude, Vice President Mata?
Yes, sir. I was absent on the 23rd special.
So was I, Mr. Wonia, so.
Okay, so
So is there a motion to approve January 16 public hearing and January 16 regular meeting?
And January 21st training. And the training too. We were all here for the training.
right, we're all here for the training.
On the 21st, we were all here for the training.
January 21st. For the team of 8.
Team of 8.
Okay, so I can do all of them, okay.
Yes.
So those ones, okay.
Except the 23rd.
All right, January 16th, hearing, regular meeting, and January 21st, training. Is there a motion?
Can you include the bills also? Can you include the bills also?
Yeah, we can include consideration approved monthly bills as well for January 2023.
Yes, that was my motion, sir.
I'll second.
Is there a motion?
Second.
Yeah.
Victor Bonilla motion, Nora second the motion.
Second.
Everything, Mr. Mata, except the January 23rd.
Careful, yeah. Any further discussion? Your vote? Every approve?
Mr. Spinoza.
Motion passes, right?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion for January 23 special session?
So move.
I think I was out that.
Is there,
Make a
second?
motion to approve.
Is there a second? Motion by Bonilla,
Second.
second by Ray Espinosa. Any further discussions? Approve?
Yes.
Approve.
I think I was out for that one.
Me too.
3-0. Abstain, I abstain.
Okay.
Abstain. Is absent. All right, number 7.
Motion passes.
What was the final vote count?
3 in favor,
3-0.
0, and then 3 abstain.
Okay.
Passes.
3-0-3.
Yep.
Action item, discussion, action to approve 2023-2024 instructional calendar.
At this point, the recommendation is that we table the instructional calendar because I have to go back and make a revision to the calendar itself.
Table or just no action?
Table.
I move.
Okay.
Moved by Nora. There a second?
Second? Second?
Oh,
Second Bonilla. Any further comments, questions?
that's fine.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, right, okay. Motion passes, 0. B, discussion, action to approve awarding RFP 23-24 fencing of baseball field to Hernandez Fencing.
All right, the recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve awarding RFP 23-24 fencing of baseball field as presented. The selection was Hernandez Fencing. The total cost of the project is $62,950.
A motion.
Motion by Ray Espinosa.
Second.
Is there a second? Second by Sam Houston.
I have a question.
Any comments and questions?
I have a question. Who is Hernandez Fencing?
He's one of our local vendors. You have his information on page 52.
Oh, I missed it.
He used to teach here.
I just want to see who it is.
He used to teach here at high school. Probably you were there.
Used to coach when Coach Aguero was here.
He's married to Elisa Hernandez, Elisa, what? Uravas.
Hernandez.
Oh, wait, David Hernandez.
David Hernandez.
He recommended you
Yeah.
for the tennis job.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine with me. So I just didn't know which Hernandez we're talking about.
I have a question too. On his proposal, I don't see anything on a concrete footing or anything on how he's gonna fix the erosion problem that we got on there. And is the scoring board not included in these repairs since the fence and the scoring board go hand in hand?
Right now, the proposal is written on page 52, but we can certainly ask him. But this is the
The
RFP.
scoreboard is working and he will,
No, what I mean is how it's falling. Once he starts removing the entire fence, what are we gonna do with the scoreboard?
We're gonna have to fix it.
he's
We're
gonna,
gonna have to repair it.
gonna take it all.
He's
But
gonna-
is it here? I don't see it part of this proposal.
Well, he's not doing anything to the scoreboard because it's a functioning scoreboard.
Know what I'm saying?
That's part of the structure of the fence.
Exactly. So how's that gonna work?
He's gonna take it off and put it back.
Go back.
How it is? Have y'all seen it?
But
The scoreboard, how it's barely standing up?
I've been there a couple of times.
The bid unfortunately did not include the scoreboard. It's not on the RFP, so we cannot,
So in the RFP, we don't have the, how we're gonna fix the erosion problem?
no, I don't believe so. I would have to go back and pull it up, but I don't think so.
What do you mean by that concrete flooring?
Well, if you notice, if you see the fence how it is right now, on one side of it facing the tennis courts, the ground is not level. So if he installs
okay.
the fence how it's gonna be,
Concrete.
we're gonna encounter the same problem, because there's no stopping the erosion.
Juan, do you remember that conversation on the baseball field?
Yes, ma'am, but we didn't talk about the
No.
part of it. Yes, ma'am.
Wait, I can take a look at the RFP and I can let you know. I can send it as a brief.
I mean, I'm just saying that
No, but it's a good,
because the problem's
point.
gonna continue, there's no stopping the erosion, just like
Right.
you're gonna install a new fence, it's gonna fall, it's
Right.
gonna fail. And I also don't see any of the, I don't see a disposal, fee on here either. Does he know he's supposed to get rid of everything?
yes.
Yes, he is.
We have a comment by,
Yeah, I was actually there for when he went to go inspect, I was the person that typed up all the questions. For the scoreboard, he said he was gonna take it off and he was gonna try to put it on with the fencing material that he's gonna get. And then for the erosion, he said something that the person who did it didn't go deep enough, and he's gonna go 8 feet, I think he said, deep, so that the concrete won't show.
If nothing is stopping the dirt, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
We need some type of footing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll follow up.
I mean, you can always work something out with him and we select them. I mean, he can propose a change order.
Yeah, but the issue is it in the RFP? Because contracts go by the RFP. So we'll have to go back and revisit that.
And I motion to approve it.
motion, so was second by, Mr. Houston, all in favor? Motion passes.
Motion in favor?
Yeah, motion passes 6-0. All right, informational discussion, superintendent's report.
First, ADA, our enrollment as of January, well, this is as of February the 10th, is at 1,803 students. Our ADA percentage, January has been a month that has really been hurting, especially with the very early morning freezes. We are at 91% attendance. Yeah, all of this is ADA.
So you did 1, 2, 3?
No, I did 1 and 2.
1 and 2, all right. Number 3, superintendent's formative goals.
This section is what I am presenting to you as my goals for this year, as per the Team of 8 training that we had back on January the 21st. So this is my strategic plan, this is a plan that I work out of, but very specifically, on page 2 of 12, my goal for this year is to build coherence in my leadership team, and that is my administrative team. My goal is to develop exceptional leaders at every level. Very specifically, we work here at central office, obviously, with the executive team, with the cabinet team. We work with campus principals, campus assistant principals, and instructional coaches here directly. So the goal for year 1 is to build coherence within this team. In terms of analyzing the gap, where are we and where I would like to be? The current state, as far as this particular goal is concerned, is that we are in a state of alignment right now. We are aligned in our understanding of the leadership's role in succeeding as one, as that is our vision, Unified for Success. Our desired state is to ensure that we are actually working in a very coherent way so that we can achieve transformation by the end of the year. The gap that we have right now between where we are and where I would like us to be is in the application. It's in the implementation and the fidelity of what it is that we're saying we're going to do to improve teacher performance and student achievement. This has been an ongoing conversation with the leadership team. So that is where we are in terms of the gap analysis. That second visual that you have is a breakdown of what we are working on currently, and this is just continuous improvement. On page 4 of 12, what I am presenting to you again is our current situation. We are a district that is aligned in terms of leadership development. Our ideal situation is coherence. Right now, we have achieved, this is a bridge, it's literally a bridge. We have achieved a sustainability assessment leadership. Our administrators have gone through leadership assessment. We have begun our initial strategic planning. We have been trained on leadership development. Right now, we are on D and F. making sure that there is a process for improvement in terms of leadership and sustaining our focus and fidelity in the implementation phase of our systems and our initiatives. The goal is to reach transformation by the end of the school year. As it does, continuous improvement is ongoing, it never ends. On page 5 of 12, this is what we have been able to do so far. At this point, we're in the middle of the year, so we have to really stop to look at where it is that we're headed and what it is that where we need to adjust. So we did have a stop and see activity, leadership activity last week. It was a very productive professional development. It was a very good training, a very reflective training. We do have to continue working on the work, which is the work of leadership. I will be on campuses collecting artifacts and evidence in terms of what leaders are doing to improve teacher performance and student achievement between this month, February, all the way up to April. And why April? Because teacher contracts come forward to you in April. So I need to spend time visiting the campuses. I have asked the campus administrators to forward me dates of faculty meetings, PLCs, data analysis meetings, parent conferences, discipline conferences, coaching sessions, when I can go and observe them in action, because this is all a strategic plan about leaders in action.
About staff meetings.
Staff meetings as well, sir. That is all of our goal 1. And then I've listed with you all of the activities that we're currently in the process of, and I've sat with the cabinet team this morning just to make sure that we are on track, and for the most part, in terms of goal 1, we are completely on track to get to where we need to be at the end of the year. Then you have the board goals that you all adopted back in July. Moving into goal 2, the goal is to ensure equitable opportunities for all students. The objective is to close the achievement gap. That's our domain 3 in Accountability 2023. The target is to improve the number of students meeting or exceeding passing standards. And the metric that we are going to be using or holding ourselves accountable for is that 85% of all special program students receiving Tier 2 and Tier 3 intervention will experience a year's educational growth, and 35% of those same students will meet or exceed passing standards. And then I have listed for the board the activities that we are currently engaged in to make sure that that happens. Okay. Moving into goal 3, provide a safe, welcoming, respectful, and rigorous learning environment for every member of the school community. And I've added for ourselves a second goal, promote a positive and supportive perception of all CCISD schools, our community and region, which maintains trust, confidence, and credibility. Our objective is student and staff safety. Our target is to provide an optimal learning environment. Our metric is that 100% of all campuses will be in compliance with the Texas School Safety Center annual audits, which we are currently ongoing right now. And I've listed all the activities that we are in the process of as we speak. Goal 4 is to promote academic growth and establish CCMR for every student. Our objective is to utilize continuous improvement strategies, professional learning communities, and other collaboration efforts at all levels to foster high expectations as the district's highest priority. Our target is academic growth. Our metric is that 85% of all students will grow 1 academic year. And then I have listed all the activities that we're currently engaged in to make sure that this happens, that this goal is achieved by the end of this school year. Goal 5, support effective communication in the district. The objective is to support community relations. The target is to strategically plan for success. The metric is that all school community and stakeholders will understand the work of the CCISD. And I have listed the activities that we are currently involved in. On page 12 of 12, what I am presenting to you is a 30, 60, and a 90-day plan. The 90 days will take us exactly to the end of our contract. We have a 226-day contract. By the time we reach the next 90 days, we will be at the end of our contract. By that time, we would have already achieved all of the activities that I have listed under 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. And so this board are the goals that I present to you as part of the superintendent's goals And I'm asking that you add these into my formative and summative evaluations, and you hold me accountable for these goals.
That's fine, ma'am. I just, since I'm not there, I don't have a hard copy. I would like the hard copy. Maybe I can get it tomorrow.
I'll get it to you.
Okay, there you go, sir.
Hasta otro cruz. Okay.
All right. B, update on RDA strategic support.
This is,
Yes, may I approach the?
yes, ma'am.
board members?
Thank you.
Sorry, I don't have nails. So based on the determination level that for special education on the results-driven accountability, I've come before the board explaining the RDA process. Just to give you a little bit of background, on December the 18th, I conducted a PLC with the campus principals, and this was to determine the root cause of the performance of the RDA. And so based on those results, we established a district leadership team, and we developed a strategic support plan, which is, I gave you a copy of. And I apologize, I know the print is very, very tiny. But when you key it into a sender and you print it, this is what we get. Sorry, I apologize for that. And so this is a plan that we submitted. TEA approved it and accepted the strategic plan. And if you take a look at it, it includes all of the tested areas. On the results-driven accountability, there are 18 indicators, and the indicators that continuously are, troublesome to us are the passing rate, and the end of course testing areas. And so if you glance through the strategic plan, they will all be consistent. You will have the problem statements, the root cause, the goals, and the strategies for each of the tested areas. Just to give you a little bit of, on the results-driven accountability, it appears that it will be transitioning to the A through F accountability system. And so all of your special education students, the bilingual and the economically disadvantaged will become your super group, and they will transition into the A through F accountability system. Any questions about the plan? I know the board member that requested is not here. I'm sure she would have questions. Any other member have a question? And so now we will monitor and we will make sure that, we follow the strategies, what we put in writing, that we are loyal and
Let me ask you one question. Do we have a TA team coming? Is it special ed?
No, we don't, sir. I will send folders to be reviewed, and so we are auditing, we are auditing our folders and checking everything on the IEP, any supplements, everything about testing, and so we submit them for review.
TA?
Good question. Yes, sir.
Do you know where they buy magnifying glasses?
Sorry. Try to bring one next time. Thank you, Ms. Sendero.
C, discussion on designated construction fund.
This is a request made by Ms. Young. She asked for me to just provide a discussion on the designated construction fund that Mr. Eid alluded to during the external audit. We do have, and I believe it's $785,000 restricted dollars in capital projects. That money is specifically for, or was designated back in 2015 specifically for the construction project at high school. That money was restricted by the board at that time, and so we are not authorized to touch it unless the board authorizes us to unrestrict the funds. And so she wanted me to put that discussion on the table for you.
And so,
This was strictly for high school?
Yes, it's.
How much was it?
About 785,000. I would have to give you the exact figure.
so on that, I mean, if we unrestrict it, it has to be spent in high school.
Yes.
So here, do we have enough to
It's bond,
fix?
it's bond money. And bond money has its own restrictions.
Okay, so with this money, and I've been asking for a while already, can't we do at least the band pad and the tennis courts, the restrooms?
For sure.
We have to run it through legal because it's bond restricted money. But we can run it through legal.
We'll run it because my
Because I
understanding
remember,
is,
I mean, when we got the amounts from health, I believe, I think that we could afford to at least upgrade our tennis courts and the band pad, and we didn't have to put it out for bond or anything like that.
If the board should choose to unrestrict the funds, there's a multitude of things that you all can do. But since we just finished a construction closed session, and you look at that dollar amount, so just keep that in mind.
but I agree with Nora that we need to find some monies to do the man. Just like we did for the baseball field and all the other fields. I know a lot of parents are saying, what about us? What about?
Give us time to sit with because this is not just.
And I'm not saying that over here, I mean.
We would have to go through the bonds, through the, Jose Estrada, to make sure that we are able to release the funds.
Well, even if we can't release the funds, I mean, I think we need to find,
Elsewhere?
elsewhere, because, I mean, we owe that to as part of the,
Sure.
of the bond, and we kind of, did a lot with baseball fields and all that, and they're asking, I mean, what about us? And
So we'll bring a proposal in March. Okay.
that would be good.
If I may, Mr. Mata,
Yes, go ahead, sir.
you know that right now, as you know, we're going through this construction issue defects or construction defects issue. I know that we are incurring costs that are related to the construction of the buildings, et cetera, that I believe that some of those fees should be and could be covered by this monies, since they will be directly related to the proper construction of the buildings. So I think it is a good idea for Ms. Briones to look at with our attorneys. And I'm assuming those gentlemen that you mentioned are fee accountants, or bond accountants. I don't know I forget what the title is to verify that. But because yes, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I know those things that were mentioned right now are important, but we do have costs associated with what we're doing right now in reference to the construction defects. And I figured that instead of taking money out of our general fund, we could use these monies for that. And then, of course, that would maybe free some of those monies from the general fund to do this other things that were just mentioned. You see what I'm getting at? I hope so.
Oh,
I mean, that's something.
I concur.
I don't have a problem with you, but I think it's very important that we do the manpack. I think we need to finish the track field, I mean, and some of those things that we discussed.
I feel, Mr. Bonilla, that some of the money that we have on the fund balance, we can do some of these repairs ourselves without upgrades, without having to go into a bond. I mean, our community obviously, rejected that bond we did a couple of years ago.
No, I'm not talking about a new bond. I'm talking about the monies that those $780,000
Right, I
That-
understand. Mhm.
Okay, all
And
right,
you
yeah,
wanted to-
and then.
And that's why we have to be,
Right now, I understand that any things that we do, like that pad, fixing the track, or do as much as we can to make it usable, the money would have to come out of our general fund. Uh, and right now, some of the fees associated with our litigation in reference to the construction fund defects are going to have to come out of general fund. So all I'm saying is that so we don't have a double whammy on our general fund, that maybe we can use those designated construction funds for those fees, and that will free some of our general fund monies, so we can direct them more into what you guys are proposing, the band pad and the track and anything else that we need to work on.
yeah, because, I mean, last year, and that's why I'm asking that we kind of get updates on the budget so we know where we are. Last year, when we ended the year and we were approving the budget, I asked Mr. Cepeda, do we have any monies left over? He said, we have about 1,400,000. So that's why we can get it and we need to get it done.
One more comment, I just want to say that, our baseball fields are playable. Our football field, maybe a couple of things on the track, they're not, I understand that. The band, yes, they practice across the street. I don't think that's safe. I think we need to keep them within campus. But tennis, they don't have anything out there. Tennis has been neglected for years. They don't have a restroom. We can't hold events here. I really think it's time that we actually put the money to get that done. Okay, it's been years. I want to say maybe we've been talking about it, that we're going to do it for 3 years, and we haven't put the money down. And if we have it, it's for the kids. The money there, that fund is for the kids. So I feel we need to move on it, put pressure on whoever's helping you, Ms. Briones, set that money aside and actually do it already. Because really we can't hold any golf, any tennis tournaments here at all, period.
Or track.
Man, Mr. Mata, can I, what Ms. Guerrero is saying is correct. It's true. It is a major concern. What I wanted to ask Ms. Briones, ma'am, would it be possible, do we have the original plans that were designed for whatever we're going to do with that bond monies concerning the additions to the high school? Did it include, do we know if it was supposed to have included updating the tennis courts?
Yes, I believe the proposal that we presented in January or maybe December is the most current proposal, and it included the tennis courts.
That was the one that was presented back in 2015?
No,
So
so
now-
we presented to the board right before the holiday break, yes.
I believe.
I understand that, ma'am. I understand that, but since the issue is the designated construction funds from that bond issue, I want to make the connection for, so if those original construction blueprints back in 2015, whenever they started the initial construction, did they include, with the money that we got from the bonds, did they include renovations for the tennis courts?
No, sir.
And
Not to my knowledge. The capital project is just for construction of the high school, the building
can we
itself.
check on that, ma'am?
We can.
Okay, because if so, yeah, that would be one possible use of that money. On that we have left, those 700 and some thousand, because that would make it a legitimate expenditure of the bond money for that. Because
And we need to maybe bring us some information for the March meeting, because summer's gonna go fast, man, people can start practicing. And we're gonna do it, I mean,
¿Se lo va a pasar otro año?
So
No dice nada.
we'll take a look at whatever the proposals were back in 2015, whatever the board approved at that time, whatever the community approved at that time, because it was a bond. Here locally, at the district level, we will present a strategic plan for facilities upgrade, and we will go back and work at the proposals that we had presented to you before the break. So we'll put that on the agenda for March.
One more thing, is you know that, that area or space that we have right where the band hall is? Okay, I mean, that can be developed into their pad. There's a lot of potential in that land.
We've considered that.
And, I mean, I'm sure it won't take millions and millions of dollars to construct a pad for the band.
I understand that it will cost about,
They practice across the street from Benito
Is
Juarez.
that what you meant, or what did you mean?
No, I want a new pad for them over here where, you know where the band hall is? Where the old high school used to be, that parking lot, that area?
Yeah, oh, okay,
I feel
okay.
that can be developed into a.
Is it the bare part?
Parking lot,
No hay
the,
nada, un lado del parking lot?
Yeah, donde está el parking lot viejo, Gabriel?
Parking lot.
That would be great.
Or even right outside the
I
band hall.
understand that it would not cost more than some of the parents have been checking 70,000.
there's just,
Take a look at it.
I mean, even for their own safety, I mean, over there, they're sitting ducks, ni los mandeos, but, I mean, if we can cover that fence and just, protect them more, that would be awesome.
All right.
We've been talking about it, Gabriel, for 3 years. We need to actually put our foot down and put the money there and do it.
Yeah, we have to do it like you said.
All right, thank you. It's gonna be presented on March, so hopefully we'll have something good. Let's go update on 22-23 school budget.
This is just an update on where we are year-to-date in expenditures. The board looks at local, state, and federal monies. We are, at the beginning of the year, we were at $24,763,750. We have expended year-to-date $13,318,095. We've encumbered an additional $1,078,774. Giving us a balance year-to-date, this is as of the end of January, of $10,366,780. So we've spent a good percentage of the funds that you approved, especially the local funds that you all approved in August. So we are in a very good state of expenditures for year-to-date.
Ms. Veronis, what about, I mean, on what we took away from, is it athletics and all this, $4 million for safety, where's that money? Is it clear?
The money that was unrestricted, a lot of the money has already been spent because of all the purchases that you all have approved. So yes, so it's coming out of here, yes, sir.
And anything on getting reimbursed by the state?
We're still waiting on one last reimbursement. Hopefully that's close to 700,000 also. But we're having to jump through hoops to get our money back. So Juan is helping me out with that reimbursement.
There was
I thought to Pat.
Ni codo, no nos queda nada.
Yeah, and that money should go back into the general.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, okay.
Pues ya, pa' qué, exactly, Rey, ya no, ya pa' qué.
All right.
I have a question from Mr.
Monday, go ahead, sir. Dale.
Do we have a panic,
Panic alert system? Yes, sir. We just entered an agreement with Raptor. We're gonna start using that because we received a grant for it.
yeah, because
Submitted for it.
I saw that TEA was announcing
Yes, sir.
that we're gonna give us money, but you have to apply for it.
Yes, sir. So we applied, we were granted the money, and now we're moving forward with it.
a panic.
Yes, sir.
Kind of bad.
All right, let's
Also,
continue.
one more thing, Mr. Juan, because of safety. I think we should look into the, I'm sorry, okay.
Sorry.
Well, for next meeting, Ms. Brunis, I'd like an update on.
An update on safety? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, iStation correlation with start readiness. Huh?
Mr. Moreno?
Oh, there you go.
Mr. Moreno.
Oh, on this, I mean, I know Mr. Moreno has some packets. And what I had requested.
Can you do a one-pager?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Thank you.
I'll ask you when you pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Da uno para poner.
Thank you.
¿Quieres uno por allá? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm gonna need one.
iStation, sí, ya te le digo. All right.
just real quick, like I said, I know I can make it quick, don't worry. So iStation, it does come from, originally from our ESSER grant. So when we first signed up for our ESSER grant, we did the application back when ESSER became available. We needed to find reading diagnostics. So this went up to the principals, and they chose iStation. So that's where iStation came about. I'm really not going to go really into crazy depth with this little 100-page book, so you don't have to really worry. But what this is this is the correlation straight to the TEKS for every single lesson that comes from iStation. So you can see the TEKS. So for example, the very first one is 3.1a. You can see there's digital, and then there's also paper resources that the teachers can use. And those codes are just what the teacher would type into iStation, and they would get those lessons. It covers 100% of their TEKS, and it covers through their ISIP. So if you look on page 13, that's the test that they take every month, the ISIP. You can see where it covers and what it covers. On top of that, if we look at this page, the 3 sheets right here, these are 2 actual students at Lorenzo de Zavala. These are 3rd graders at Lorenzo de Zavala. I just X'd out their names for privacy purposes. But these are our true students. So we can see that if you look kind of like it, I know it's kind of small, but that's just the way that it prints out. In this little area, there's a little highlight. That's their Lexile level. So that's what they're reading at. The state requires us, or their STAR test is set to a certain Lexile, so that way the students can know, if you're reading at a 460, for example, that one student, you can go to this chart right here and see a 460.
What page is that?
Oh, this one here. It's in here. It's that one right there. Yeah, I just look at it there because it was a couple pages. So if you look at this one, so you can see the Lexile. So for example, again, it's a 460. So we can see that a student who's reading at a 460 Lexile, right now would be sitting at does not meet. And then the second one is a tier 1 student. He's reading at a 625. So you would see that a 625 falls right in the middle of approaches. So he would be expected to pass, he's reading on near grade level. It's approaching grade level, that's what approaches mean, right? So what we use this for is we use these right here, these little squares. They're, overall reading, text fluency, reading comprehension, vocabulary, and spelling. Those are all the basics of reading. That's what a student needs in order to read. So if a student is not, so for example, this individual, the tier 2 student, looks like he's struggling in spelling. So what can we do to find some lessons in spelling to help that student grow? Because if the student can't spell, then the student's not going to be able to read, which is ultimately going to hurt us Lexile-wise, which is going to come to the STAR. So all of this kind of recurses the STAR. We have to make sure the students are reading, and this is our way of gauging if a student can read. So that's how we look at iStation. So as you guys know, we are going to take our STAR interims this coming week. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at these low-performing TEKs. So let's say, for example, a low-performing TEK is 3.21A1. We will be able to go and look at these lessons. We can assign the students these lessons, give these students these lessons. The teachers can model the lessons, and that would work on those TEKs. So that's how we use iStation, or that's how iStation is intended to be used on the campus.
Yeah, but my question is, I understand all this, but how are we monitoring the level of the readings, of what the students are reading? For example, Maria Espinosa has a score. How do you correlate that I'm reading at first grade level or second grade level or third grade level?
Well, that goes to their Lexile. So iStation creates a chart that says their Lexile, let's say it's a 460. A 460 correlates to about a second grader, and it's supposed to be a 3rd grader. So he's reading at a 2nd grade reading level, and he's a 3rd grader. There is a chart.
You do it for an individual student?
Yes, every individual student, it's a straight out chart, and it gives them their score, it gives them their Lexile, and then based on where their scores were and what their Lexile was, they fall into this certain grade level.
And the teachers get this information.
They should. It's been given to the. I know for a fact that it's been given to the instructional coaches, which should in turn go back to the district, the campus administration, because it's and then it's on the iStation.
For example, and I'm gonna give an example. I mean, and I bring my grandson because I work with him. When he was tested the first time, I mean, I think he got about 218 in September, about 2 something in October, and then about 300 something in January. I was asking the teacher, okay, at what level is he reading? And she said, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I can interpret this stuff, she said.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There is a scale out there, and it's not even. They just go to on their website. They can click it. There should be.
They have the skill.
They should, because
There's one out there. I mean, does every teacher have that skill?
What do you mean by they should? Like where is it?
I know, for example, I work with instructional coaches. I gave the instructional coaches this scale, and their job is to take it to the campus and submit it to the campus.
So based on that scale, Matthew, and again, we work with the instructional coaches and with the administrators. The instructional coach would know if it's a very specific Lexile, this Lexile at first grade is either above where the student is supposed to be reading, or below where the student is supposed to be reading, or on target where the student is supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's broken up. If you guys remember the old reading Star Renaissance, you used to get like a 12.9 reading level or 6.7. It's broken up very similar to that.
To the grade equivalent.
To the grade equivalency. So, but now it's just the new term is Lexiles, and we just use
Okay, I know because I've been researching this a lot. I mean, okay, on the iStation reading ability score, what score is that?
Because since they're testing in multiple subjects, multiple like fluency and everything, that's just a score that iStation gives them. It's kind of like their raw score that iStation gives them.
But what is it?
It's just a score, and then that score it has a scale to the Lexile based on what that score is. So if they get
what about to a reading?
Yeah, it goes straight across. So it goes like, say it's a 627, they get a 627 on the ISIP. That'll correlate to like a 330, and then a 330 correlates to a reading level.
And what about the developmental reading assessment? I mean, those are numbers.
The developmental reading assessment, that's for the little ones, right? The little.
It has all the way to second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh.
Yeah, the developmental, iStation is broken up into 2 different ones, which is the elementary reading and then more the upper level reading. So the developmental is more for pre-K, kinder, but it's still part of iStation, but it's just a different kind of subsection of it, but it's still there. It still goes into there.
What about the reading, the basal reading levels? I mean, can iStation determine that?
Yes, and so if you actually look at that paper, the one that I gave you, that is actually, that little link is a hyperlink, so the teachers can actually click on that, and it'll take them to a Lexile page, and it even gives them books that correlate with that. And say, hey, the student can read Johnny Appleseed, and that correlates with their grade level.
So, can you bring it up with instructional coaches again on the chart? Because I asked a couple of teachers and.
Yeah, no, I definitely can. I can do that. We can.
How familiar are teachers with the iStation? Are they very familiar? How familiar are they with the iStation?
iStation's been used. It's been even before I was still a teacher.
Are they familiar with it? Do they know how to use it? Do they know how to collect data from it and say, you know what? I'm a teacher in a classroom. You know what? Johnny Appleseed is not doing very well. What can I do to improve his scores by looking at iStation?
I know that's something that we're working on, because that's something that we're hearing, especially with our newer teachers. So we are I know we're bringing in we actually have an iStation training coming up that we're gonna use for our instructional coaches so they can take it back to the campuses. So this is, we're really using it, we're trying to get as much as we can out of it. So I know for a fact, like, that's what we're working on. We're working on.
Don't think maybe involving some of the teachers as well, just so they can get
So being that it's,
Yeah,
the thought.
yeah, it's a thought.
I think if you're gonna have that, maybe include your instructional coaches and your principals.
Yes, they're always included. The instructional coaches are always, and anything we do with iStation, they're always included.
Because I wanna make sure that we're not only using it for, start Ccisd,
Yeah,
but also to determine if the students are reading at or above grade level or below grade level. So that, those are the kids that need to be going to, tutorials.
yes, and that's actually what iStation is really intended for. iStation is really intended to tell us where the students are, grade wise. They give us the Lexile, and based on Lexiles, we're able to tell he's reading at a 6th grade level or a 5th grade level, or we can go from there. That's the intentions of it.
And the reason I'm bringing this is because it was my grandson, was, and when I asked the teacher what grade levels, she couldn't give me an interpretation.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's something that I've encountered as well, and that's something that I brought up with the iStation, with the instructional coaches, and but definitely I can bring it up again.
Bring it up again because it's already into March, and
Yeah.
if they don't know what level, then how are they being instructed at their independent level or at their instructional level?
So we have.
Mr. Mata, if I may ask a question, it's pretty basic question. As a retired teacher, my question would be, do I have or will I have a chart on my desk that shows a conversion from iStation to Lexile to reading level?
Yes,
That
sir.
way, when I have a parent conference, a parent asks me that question, I just look at the chart. I don't have to go online. I don't have to do any other kind of stuff. If I know that my students Lexile, I go to that chart and boom, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Your child's reading level is this.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's got to be that basic. There's comes a time when it's got to be that basic.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure I email that to the principals, for the principals to email it directly to their staff tomorrow morning.
Well, and we have an early release Wednesday coming up where we're doing a PLC data analysis. And we've discussed this, and so make sure that all of that is part of the agenda for the day, because we will determine the agenda for that afternoon.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
All right, number 9, informational items. A, review TASB localized policy update 120 affecting legal and local board policies on first reading, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know.
Yeah, these are just for your review.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody go with that? All right. B, Zavala County Appraisal District Report.
Again, these are all of the reports, B, C, D, E, and F, and G are just for report only, unless you all have a specific question out of any of these reports. Information.
Yeah. Good. Discussion, all right. All right, number 11, A, discussion action regarding school district construction issues, including authorization to proceed with negotiation, mediation, or litigation as necessary and matters thereto.
The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees table this line item so that I can look into arbitration versus litigation before making a recommendation.
Motion.
Second.
Second by Nora. Any comments and questions? All in favor?
Yes.
All right, motion passes 6-0. B, discussion action regarding the employment of the new human resources director for the 22-23 school year.
The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees accept the recommendation of employment of the new human resource director for the 22-23 school year as discussed in close.
Is there a motion?
I motion.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Nora. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
How about yes?
5. Any against? One against. 5-1, 5 in favor, 1 against. Motion passes.
Congratulations, Mr. Alvarado.
Good luck, sir.
All right, discussion action, we're on C. Discussion action to approve the reemployment renewals for professional staff, including campus principals and central administrators for the 23-24 school year.
The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the reemployment renewals for professional staff, including campus principals and central office administrators for the 23-24 school year.
I motion, but,
As discussed in closed?
as discussed
Yes, sir.
in closed section.
Yes, sir.
Motion by Ray,
I'll second.
Second?
second by Nora. Any comments and questions? All in favor?
Vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Consideration to approve the employment of new professional staff for the 2022-2023 school year.
No action. We don't have any professionals.
No? 0. Right, B. Consideration to approve the employment of new at-will staff for 2022-2023 school year.
The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the employment of new at-will staff for the 22-23 school year.
Is there a motion?
I motion, but with the correction
With the change.
that of the campus.
Yes, sir.
She's going to.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Bonilla. All in favor?
Vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. All right, number 12, adjournment. Motion.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Time.
2.